You already know how it starts. You pick up your phone for 10 seconds, you put it down 40 minutes later, and you can't explain where the time went. You didn't choose that. Some part of you knew better the entire time, but the real answer to why you keep losing that fight isn't about willpower at all. It's a 3,000-year-old trick, and a Greek king already solved it before phones, before apps, before anyone had a word for a scrolling. His name was Odysseus. In Homer's Odyssey, Odysseus has to sail past the sirens, creatures whose singing is so irresistible that every sailor who hears it steers straight into the rocks and drowns. Odysseus wants to hear the song anyway, so he doesn't trust himself to resist it in the moment. Instead, he has his crew tie him to the ship's mast before they get close, and he orders them not to untie him no matter what he says. Once the singing starts, the plan works. The song is exactly as unbearable as promised. Odysseus screams at his crew to let him go. They don't. He survives, having heard something no other sailor ever lived to describe. Notice what he actually did. He didn't try to be stronger than the sirens. He knew he couldn't be. Instead, he made a decision early while he was still thinking clearly, and he removed his future self's ability to override it. He's not the only one who figured this out. In 1830, the writer Victor Hugo was badly behind on a deadline for a new novel. He kept getting distracted, kept putting off the writing. So he tried something drastic. He had his servant take every single piece of his outdoor clothing, his coats, his shoes, everything, and lock it all away, leaving him with nothing to wear but a large shawl. With nothing to walk outside in, there was nowhere to go and nothing to do but write. That novel became The Hunchback of Notre Dame, finished months ahead of what anyone expected. Hugo didn't out-willpower his own distraction. He just made distraction physically impossible for the version of himself who would have chosen it. Here's why this matters more for you than it did for a sailor or a 19th century novelist. Modern apps are deliberately engineered to trigger exactly this kind of impulse. Small rewards, unpredictable timing, an endless supply of the next thing. Your phone isn't a monster on a rock. It's a siren that got redesigned by teams of people whose entire job is making the song harder to ignore, which means the version of you watching this right now, thinking clearly, is standing exactly where Odysseus stood before the ship got close, and exactly where Hugo stood before he handed over his coat. You still have leverage later tonight. Scrolling, you won't. So what does tying yourself to the mast actually look like today? A few ropes worth trying. Delete the app when you're not craving it, so it isn't sitting there waiting for you when you are. Set a screen time limit before the scrolling starts, not in the middle of it, when it's far too easy to just tap ignore. Leave your phone charging in another room overnight. A decision made at 8 p.m., not negotiated at midnight. Give a friend your passcode and let them lock you out of one app for a set number of days, so getting back in takes more effort than just quitting cold. None of these tricks make the pull any weaker. The sirens still sing exactly as loud. You're just making sure that later, straining against the ropes, some smarter, earlier version of you already made the call. You already know how it starts. You pick up your phone for 10 seconds. This time, the version of you watching this got there first.